In today's world, gaming PCs are one of the most popular uses of entertainment. Some people may choose to build their own gaming rig, some can get a laptop, and others will choose to go with a pre-built desktop tower. In this video, we will discuss the top 5 gaming pre-builts in 2020. There are thousands of options to choose from, and it isn't easy to decide which PC to get. But our list will guide you through the entire process of choosing a new pre-built gaming rig. We will discuss many options, including low and high budget machines. So keep watching to find your pick for the best gaming PC in 2020. Be sure to remember that prices do change and items do go out of stock, especially in the midst of a global pandemic. So check the links in the description for the most up-to-date pricing and information. We know that budget matters. That's why we picked the Skytech Chronos as our number 5 pick. This gaming PC offers amazing value for the price of $649. The machine includes medium-end hardware that will be able to provide a smooth gaming experience at 1080p. Let's discuss some of its specifications. Starting off with its CPU, we have the AMD Ryzen 3 3100 quad-core processor, which will allow many different CPU-intensive applications and programs to function properly and smoothly. This gets amplified by the 8GB of DDR4 3000MHz memory. The combination of these two elements make multitasking with different programs possible, and works well for gaming too. Speaking of gaming, the GPU is the most important part of a PC when it comes to getting smooth performance in games, and this rig has an NVIDIA GTX 1650 Super, a 4GB graphic card that will allow you to run AAA game titles at medium settings, while getting over 60 FPS at 1080p resolution. It is one of the strongest links in the system, along with the storage, a 500GB solid-state drive. SSDs are known for being much faster than traditional hard drives by having faster boot times and snappier file transfer speeds. The 500GB will last for a long time and allow for many games and files to be stored. Finally, this PC has a 550-watt bronze-certified power supply, which makes upgrading the PC for future use possible. This is the best value money option for gaming PCs due to the great specs it provides for a relatively low cost of only $649. For our next pick, we chose the best budget option for $1,000, which is the Skytech Shiva gaming PC. This machine includes great components worth the price and is made for gaming. There are many things to talk about with this particular PC, so let's get right into the details. It starts off strong with the AMD Ryzen 5 2600 6-core processor. While this isn't the 3rd generation Ryzen 5, it still performs great due to its 6 cores and 12 threads. This works great with the 16GB of DDR4 3000MHz memory, as Ryzen processors greatly benefit from large amounts of RAM, and all of this allows for multitasking with heavyweight software. For the most important part of the PC, the video card, we have the NVIDIA RTX 2060. A relatively new gaming card with ray tracing and enough power to run AAA game titles at 1080p 144Hz on high settings. Its 6GB of GDDR6 VRAM greatly increases the speeds of rendering textures and images. For the storage, this PC is the same as the previous option, with a 500GB solid-state drive. This is enough space for many games and files, and the drive itself is much faster than a regular hard drive. Lastly, it has a 500-watt 80+ certified power supply. This isn't great because it basically cuts out the option to upgrade the PC in the future. Overall, this is the best option if you're looking for a gaming PC at the cost of $1,000. Next up, we have our 3rd place gaming PC, the Thermaltake LCGS Glacier 300. It is a great mid to high-end option at a cost of $1,300. The device includes great specs, tons of storage, and a liquid cooler for a smooth experience with gaming and productivity. There are many components that make this pre-built PC stand out, starting with the Ryzen 5 3600 6-core processor. This is one of the most popular CPUs in the market, due to the amazing value for money it provides. Its 6 cores and 12 threads use the Ryzen 3rd generation architecture to provide amazing performance. It comes with a 240mm liquid AIO cooler to allow overclocking, and to make sure that the processor never overheats and thermal throttles. It has a large amount of RAM at a whole 16GB of DDR4 3200MHz of memory. This combined with the CPU makes a great combo to crush any workload and multitask with several different applications open at once. The GPU in the system is an NVIDIA RTX 2060 Super, a new graphics card capable of providing an experience over 144Hz at 1080p, or even 1440p at high settings on a AAA game title. The video card includes a whopping 8GB of VRAM, which makes it easy for the card to render complicated textures and images. As said before, this PC has lots of storage. A huge 1TB Seagate solid-state drive. This SSD is speedy and contains enough space for years of games, files, and programs, as a terabyte of storage will not be used up quickly. Finally, there is room for upgrade with a 600-watt gold-certified power supply. Overall, this is a great value PC with many unique features and great specs for gaming. Now, for first and second place, we have the best of the gaming PCs. These are premium high-end machines that will be able to play any game at 1440p at over 60 FPS on high settings. Such as our second place PC, another version of the Skytech Chronos, which costs $1,449. It has amazing specs and features that are well worth the price. Let's talk about them. So, the CPU is the immensely powerful Ryzen 7 2700X 8-core processor. This piece of hardware is extremely powerful and will be able to handle any CPU-intensive processes or applications. Like many PCs in this price range, this one has 16GB of DDR4 3000MHz memory, which is a huge help for multitasking, and a great benefit for the CPU. As for the GPU, this PC doesn't disappoint. It includes an NVIDIA RTX 2070 Super, a latest generation video card that will be able to output way over 60 FPS while playing any AAA game title at high settings at 1080p and 1440p. Its 8GB of VRAM allows it to quickly and seamlessly render complex textures and images. For storage, this device has a huge 1TB SSD. Solid-state drives are extremely fast, so a whole terabyte of high-speed space will be extremely useful for storing large games and applications that would usually take a long time to open. Finally, with its 650-watt power supply, this PC has room for upgrades in the future. This is an overall amazing gaming desktop, well worth its high price. It offers great value for the money, and is overall future-proof with lots of storage, a latest gen CPU, and a high wattage power supply. And for the first place gaming PC, we have the immensely popular Alienware Aurora R9. This is one of the best gaming desktops out there for $2,000, and it delivers for the price. While Alienware brand products aren't usually known for bringing value for the money, this desktop does. Firstly, it includes an amazing Intel Core i7-9700K, the latest generation of Intel processors. Its 8 cores and 16 threads allowed it to greatly excel in CPU-heavy applications. The 16GB of DDR4 2666MHz memory can seem a little slower than the previous desktops with 3000MHz RAM. However, it still delivers and allows for advanced multitasking with heavyweight software. A 3000MHz kit would be nice, but it isn't much of a problem. The whole setup comes together with the NVIDIA RTX 2080 Super video card. This is another recent GPU that absolutely crushes any workload. Gaming can easily be done at 1440p 144Hz on high settings on any game title, and even 4K gaming is possible on this monster of a video card. Its 8GB of GDDR6 VRAM allows it to output complex textures, images, and shapes without breaking a sweat. The PC has an insane amount of space for storage of files, games, and other software. Firstly, it includes a 256GB SSD for the boot drive, and the most used games and apps. Then it has a massive 2TB hard drive for other content to be stored at will. 2 TB will last an average consumer for years, so no need to worry about running out of space. Finally, it includes a whopping 850-watt power supply for tons of headroom for upgrades in the future. Overall, this is the best high-end gaming desktop in 2020. With its CPU, GPU, storage, and upgradability, this pre-built PC is the right pick if you can